Pussy talks dollars, euros, yen. Where you think it got all that knowledge from? Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine. You can call me Jazz, JD. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a very fun video. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be pairing women rappers with HBCU students. And if you don't know what an HBCU is, it stands for a historically black college and university. And to be an HBCU, there is 3 criterions. The third one is a technicality, really. You can take it with a grain of salt. But the first one is that it had to have been formed before 1964, and that's when the Civil Rights Act was passed. And second, an HBCU is an HBCU if it was formed with the mission to advance African Americans through academia. And the third one is that for an HBCU to be an HBCU, it must be accredited by a recognized body. And so by that third technicality, there are 99 HBCUs in this country currently, and without the third criterion, there are about 105. Black HBCU graduates outperform black predominantly white institution PWI graduates across all indicators of success. This includes social belonging on campus, career readiness, how quickly you get a job after graduation, stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of benefits academically and career-wise to going to an HBCU as a young black student in this country. So I recommend you look into some HBCUs and not just the Black Ivy Leagues. Like I just said, there are 99 accredited HBCUs, so look into some of them. Okay, so on the other side of it, let's talk about women rappers. Right now is a really interesting time for the hip-hop rap industry in that there are so many mainstream women rappers right now, and that hasn't happened since the 90s. Like in between the 90s and now, it's really been Miss Nicki Minaj holding it down, and she really did what had to be done. But now there are so many women rappers dominating, and I'm hoping that at the end of this video you'll find some new people to listen to. And also the other half of it, I'm hoping that you'll hear about some HBCUs that you might be interested in, because HBCUs need more students, y'all. Please don't let our legacies die. I will be a 4th generation HBCU graduate next year, and I would love to have our HBCUs still around for generations to come. So people need to know. So let's get right into it. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to talk about rappers in their locations, geographically where their hometown is. And I'm going to start with my hometown and then go clockwise around the country. So I am from the illustrious, gorgeous Motown Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. And the first rapper that we're going to talk about from Detroit, Michigan is Miss Cash Doll. Don't hit my line asking why my number ain't yo. Let me tell you a little something about me. I'm a boss straight up out the 313. I'm gonna pull up in a Porsche. Me and Money married, no divorce. That Cash Doll. Miss Cash Doll, Miss Arkisha Knight will go to Jackson State University. Let me tell you why. Jackson State is the college home to a lot of Detroiters. During the Great Migration, when slavery ended and a lot of Southerners, black Southerners, moved to the North for better opportunities, they went to Chicago and they went to Detroit. So you kind of see that in the demographic of the student populations at like the HBCUs in Mississippi. You'll find a lot of Chicagoans down here, and you will find a good bit of Detroiters at Jackson State. So you know, it only makes sense. And then there are a lot of stallions. It's a lot of stallions. Tall, thick women at Jackson State. And that is Arkisha Knight to the T. And for major, she would study business with an emphasis in entrepreneurship. Don't ask me why. That's just the facts. The next person that we got from Detroit is Dej Loaf. Miss Let a Nigga Try Me. I'm gonna get his home up fucking fondly. Miss Where the Love At? Are you niggas suspect? We don't trust that. That Dej Loaf. Dej Loaf will go to Lane College. Let me tell you why. Lane College is located in Jackson, Tennessee, about an hour and a half from Memphis. Lane College attracts a lot of Detroiters, and I didn't know that until this summer. But you know, an hour and a half from Memphis isn't too bad. Memphis is another black city down here. It's a lot she could get into. And yeah, the thing about Dej Loaf is that she's super low-key, super laid back. It's like she comes through, spit a little bit of fire, she walks out. And that's the vibe that these private small liberal arts schools get. So I just feel like she would be at one of these small liberal arts schools like Lane College, getting her mind cultivated by all this black excellence, and she would be studying visual arts by doing so. The last person from Detroit is Molly Brazy, and she would go to Tennessee State University. Also, a lot of Detroiters go to Tennessee State, and that is in Nashville, I'm pretty sure. Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee was in the name, y'all knew that. I don't know what she was studying, but that's definitely, she's undecided. She'll figure it out, you know, but she does go to Tennessee State. That's what I do know for sure. While we're up here in the North Midwest region, we're going to begin our visit to Chicago with Miss Dreezy, Miss Franklin's Aretha, Miss Two-Seater Aaliyah, Ice on Anemic, you wouldn't even believe me. Miss graduated from the U of Finesse, need a salon, bitches is pressed. Love Dreezy. One thing about Dreezy is that her voice is so unique. Like, she's got a really raspy voice, but it works so well. Like, I can listen to this woman rap all day. You only have to hear Dreezy once, and from that moment on, you're gonna know it's Dreezy on the track. And that's especially important right now because, like I said earlier, the industry is so saturated with women artists right now, and I feel like they have this archetype. They think this archetype that's been predetermined is what's gonna make them money, and it does, but they all kind of sound the same, you know. So I really love a good artist that is differentiated from the others, and Dreezy's definitely that artist. Let's talk about how I don't feel like Chicago folks ride for her as hard as I feel like they need to. And I know quite a bit of y'all. And all I'm saying is that it be crickets. Like, if Dreezy was from Detroit, I wouldn't shut up. And I mean, I already don't shut up about Dreezy. I guess I'll just explode. Anyway, Miss Dreezy would attend Xavier University in New Orleans, Louisiana. And she would be a criminal justice major pre-law. Let me tell you why. If you've heard Spar featuring Black and Kodak Black, I don't even need to say nothing else. You already know then. But if you haven't, you need to stream it now. She makes a lot of points, Miss Ma'am, talking about this systemic racism, talking about legalized marijuana and how we still getting locked up for it. Yeah, so she would get this law degree, become an attorney, and fight this systemic racism that's mass incarcerating us. It's work that needs to be done. We do love that about Dreezy, so thank you so much, Queen. We love a political activist. Anyway, yeah, so I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jasmine, you was just talking about all of this, about the Great Migration, about people from Mississippi was going up to Chicago, people from Chicago coming back down to Mississippi to go to school in Mississippi. Why didn't she go to a school in Mississippi? Listen, I hear you. I hear you. And she thought about it. She heard you too. She thought about it. But her heart told her to go to Xavier, and that's fine. Like, I really do feel like Xavier was a good fit for her. However, she did have friends that went to schools in Mississippi. No Name's one of them. Like, I don't know if they really know each other in real life, but in my world, they did know each other. Because I feel like everybody in Chicago knows each other. Yes, Miss No Name. She's another one of these artists. And I feel like I'm going to say this a lot throughout this video. But she's got a very unique voice. You only need to hear No Name once, so you're going to know it's her. She's got a very poetic, sing-songy, but almost talking kind of like rap style. I don't even know if you would call No Name's music rap, but she's definitely a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about No Name is that she's very much into grassroots activism. And if you have been on Black Twitter at all, you have seen all of that nonsense about J. Cole's Snow on the Bluff and how allegedly that song was about her. And if it was about her, he was basically saying that there's no action behind her Twitter fingers and her like being a social justice warrior, basically calling people out, but you know, not really educating people. But this sister's got a whole book club, and then I've also heard about specific projects that she's gotten like on the ground running, and I want to say that some of them were here in Mississippi too. And another thing is that she does mention Mississippi a lot in her music, which also goes back to what I said about the Great Migration. A lot of people from Chicago and Detroit have family down here, so I just feel like with No Name, I feel like she's a holistic person. It's like, I'm coming down south to get this HBCU education, but also to reconnect with my roots, and I stand. I can't say nothing about that. Yeah, so let's get into the school. Miss Ma'am would attend Tougaloo College right outside of Jackson, Mississippi, like right outside Jackson, Mississippi, just across the train tracks. We right there. And the reason I say this is because Tougaloo College has a strong history of activism and social justice, especially during a time where Mississippi and the other schools were just not on that wave. And the reason for it is that Tougaloo is one of these private liberal arts schools started by missionaries up north, and so they had a lot more freedom on what they got to convey, like what their school message was going to be and what they stood for. This is during a time where Mississippi was still very much segregated, which is why it had HBCUs in the first place. Back to No Name, she would double major in Africana Studies and Economics. I get those vibes from her. That's everybody from Chicago. I mean, that was fun. Did a little sightseeing, got to know some folks. Now we're gonna go down to DC. We have Oshun, which is a duo, and they rap and sing. And if y'all don't listen to nobody else talk to y'all about today, please listen to Oshun, because their music is so uplifting. Like, they do a great job of like intertwining spirituality with hip-hop, and it's like their music vibrates on such high frequencies that I would love to be on every day. And another thing about their music is that it is so far from earthly shackles, specifically like the patriarchy. And you're gonna hear me talk about the patriarchy a lot because something needs to be done about it. But it's just so free from any type of systemic subliminal messages. Like, this is all positivity. And for those reasons, these two would attend Bennett College in South Carolina. Not only is this a historically black college, but it's also a historically women's college. And as somebody who has attended a historically women's college, I can honestly say that it has changed my life. Like, you think that you're a progressive, womanist, you know, really see the world for what it is, and then you get to a historically women's college and you realize that all that you thought that you would achieve is still within the context of the patriarchy. And are you really free from it? No. So historically women's college like really gives you a space to explore your identity, your aspirations for what they really are. Like, that's an area of enlightenment that I think that they've definitely achieved. They may have, you know, done it at Bennett College. They may have done it after Bennett. They may have did it before Bennett. But the main thing here is that Oshun is free from all of that. They study visual arts. Stream their music, bro. Solar plexus shining brighter than your necklace. So yeah, now we're in Florida. We're in Miami to be exact. Y'all probably know what's coming next. City girls. You know we live. Get on booty pretty face. The guys. Period. JT and Young Miami, we'll just cut to the chase. They went to FAMU, you know what I'm saying? Just a couple-hour drive. They stayed in the state, because why would you need to go anywhere else when FAMU is right there? FAMU is definitely one of the more wider known HBCUs. When you talk about HBCUs, you have a general understanding of them, FAMU is probably going to be one of the schools that comes up. Stands for Florida A&M University, by the way. Let's just cut to the chase. Miss JT would be studying economics. Let me tell you why. I watched this very insightful, very like breakthrough in the research, like in the studies and the knowledge. Miss Ma'am was talking about the minimum wage. Miss JT, what we've learned from this interview is that she has always been wanting to keep 2 or 3 jobs, but every 2 weeks she getting $400, $600. What's she gonna do with that? What is she gonna do with that? Nothing. So all of these intricacies, all of these theories about the way this economy runs, the way money is distributed, it's like on the brink of it, the tip of the iceberg. JT is sitting right there and she's ready to dive in. She sees what's happening with this economy. She sees what could be from this economy. She knows about these racial disparities. She knows about these classes disparities. And you get to a HBCU and you study economics at a HBCU, they're gonna make sure you know about all of that and to its fullest extent. and I'm so happy for her to be having this experience. And for Miss Young Miami, she'll be studying international studies. Let me tell you why. Pussy Talk told me everything that I needed to know. Okay, Pussy Talk said her coochie speak English, Spanish, French. That's 3 languages right off the bat right there. Like, wow. Like, how does it do that? But to go even further, it also speaks dollars, euros, and yen. That's business. That's economics too. So it's like, we can't even just say that this is a foreign language. It's not only one, but it's multiple. And now we're talking about currencies. Like, this is a whole encompassing international phenomenon. This is a major with international implications. You know what I'm saying? You get this? We love a trilingual queen, so for those reasons she does study international studies. And so, you know, that wraps it up. We've been all around the country. It's been a great ride. I'm glad to have had y'all here with me, and I just want to say that if I ain't get one of your favorite artists on here, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm hoping that you can understand where I'm coming from. Tell me if you like this video. If you have any other artists in mind, leave them down below where you think they would have gone to school, what they would have studied, kind of thing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, turn on the little bell notifications, and we can just have a good time here, you know? So yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.